Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today I'm comparing and contrasting my deadlifts from June 22nd Monday and my the Thursday right before that. I'm not really sure which one that was right now, but those two deadlifts, I'm comparing and contrasting those, which was 364, 4 sets of 4 last week, which was a Thursday. That was the last time I deadlifted last week, and then the first time I deadlifted this week was 370, 3 sets of 5, which was also a bench day. And for bench, I did 4 sets of 3 with 220. I wish it could have been 221 because of the calibrated comp plates, it makes it 221. Sadly, yesterday I didn't get a deadlift and bench with calibrated comp plates, but the gym I was at did have Ivanko Barbell Company plates, which are pretty good. Those are like the best of the best. They make calibrated plates. Those are the ones I use. But these aren't comp plates. They're just like, I'm pretty sure they're steel and not iron. So they're pretty damn identical. I had a Texas deadlift bar yesterday, but it wasn't ideal because the knurling was horrible. It was slippery. It was old and rusty. So if you could see, like in the videos, you'll notice like my thumb is literally in the air and like I'm like this holding it with my left. My left one is the supinated grip and my right one is the pronated one. But it was easy, and I didn't have a belt also. It was beltless. It wasn't beltless purposely. I just forgot my belt at home. So it was beltless. So I plan on doing the whole week beltless. And, well, I plan on doing the whole week beltless until I do my top singles. That I don't want to do beltless. Or who knows, maybe I will. So I'm going to compare and contrast that and take a look into how I felt and how it went. So I don't know what it was. There was like the past 2 deadlift sessions, like past 3, I think, all last week. And then this week too. Well, okay, this week I felt amazing, like since the start of the session. But all last week, I don't know what it was. I mean, the warm-ups looked fine, but my deadlifts just felt horrible. Even the first like 155 pounds, it was just, I don't know what it was. Like, I really don't know. And I slept fine. I usually I don't think I've explained this before, but I usually sleep like 3 hours or 4 hours and then go to the gym at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning, whatever. It doesn't, like, anywhere from 2 to 4 a.m. And then I work out and then I sleep again. So I usually don't go that rested. I mean, but I'm used to it. I've been doing this for years. And then when I sleep 6 hours, which was happened to be this day, I don't know, I just didn't feel good. And you can see right here, like the first rep is like, it looked like RPE 10. Well, I don't know, to me it looked RPE 10. It like felt like it too, but I knew it was gonna go up, and I knew it was gonna go move as smoother than it looked. But like, I just don't know what it was. The RPs like looked horrible. It didn't feel horrible, but then it did. Like my first set was like the first one. It was the worst one, not the first one. The first one was the worst one for sure. And like just the other sets and reps like pretty much just got better as they went, because that's how I always am on deadlift. Like, you know, as I've explained, it just gets easier and easier as I go. But I don't know, I just can't get over last week. It just didn't feel good. It was just deadlifts. Like, that's the only one. I know there's no excuse because people that didn't have any weights at all couldn't deadlift at all. And I had a very cheap bar, so bench and squat like went up fast. But not my deadlift. I don't know, because the bar was so horrible. I couldn't really do much with it. It was so slippery. Like, way worse than the Texas deadlift bar that I used at KO Gym in Oxnard. Just, like, it wasn't a very good bar. And it's, like, it was slippery. And I had to use straps for everything. And it just, like, anything was hard to pull because that tire platform was actually a little uneven. You know, it wasn't that bad, but, like, the left side was always a lag. But what I mean by that bar is pretty much, like, it's as if I didn't really deadlift. And I got really weak for some reason. I don't know why. And it kind of sucks because now that I actually have the right bar, it just, I don't know, I just feel like all that quarantine, like, deadlifting was pretty much pointless, and it all went to waste. Because I think my number is, when I competed on August 16th, I don't think my highest was 457 in December. And I just don't see it going that high, honestly. Like, sadly, it's just deadlift's the only one. I don't even think I could do 500, to be honest, because 457 was the last one. I feel confident about 485, and I don't know why I feel like that one it would even be hard to do. Like, 501 is like the most, and I feel like that would probably be RPE 10. Who knows? I guess that means my bench and squat would have to make up most of my total. So as you can see from the deadlift footage from June 18th is what it was, Thursday. It wasn't, for some reason, it just wasn't good. I didn't feel good that day, and I slept, like, real good. Like, I slept 6 hours, and, like, for me, 6 hours is good, but I don't know why. I just didn't feel good. I woke up feeling weird. On the way to the gym, I felt weird. Maybe because I didn't drink pre-workout, but I don't like to use that as an excuse because I went years without using pre-workout. I mean, it could just be a mental thing, but I just felt weird. Every first rep was awkward. I mean, though, usually my first rep is always not awkward, but it's usually not the best one. And with me, every rep gets better on deadlifts. I just get better and faster and more explosive. I don't know how, I don't know why. It's just the way it is. And I've never been like a long distance kind of guy. I know this is more short distance, like powerlifting is more short distance explosive type 2 muscle fibers, but with this I'm just kind of like endurance like lifter, I guess you could say, because I just get better as the set goes with deadlift specifically. So for the next, as I said earlier, this is the footage from the gym is called KO Gym in Oxnard. That's my first competition, was at that specific gym. So when I go there, my sister lives down the street, so it feels like home to me, and that gym's always gonna bring me nostalgia. No matter, I don't know how long it'll be around, but if it stays for as long as it stays, it's always going to bring me nostalgia, because that's where my first meet was, and I just had to impress. I mean, not like anyone's watching, it matters, but just the atmosphere. I feel like the atmosphere is watching. I don't know, I just feel like being in that presence, I just have to impress in general, just myself. And the first meet presence, it's always going to be like that. Like if I was an actual member there, I'd always go crazy. I'd always feel good in that gym, I have a feeling. Even if I have a bad day, I'd always have a good feeling about every day, because it was my first meet. And it's just like that little adrenaline just pumps in. And I forgot my belt. It was beltless, and it was a way better session than the last one. Last session sucked that you just saw, and here it is with the bench. Now fast forward to June 22nd. Feels like such a long time ago compared to the first footage of the deadlifts, but these deadlifts on a very cheaper Texas deadlift bar, it just felt like so right today. I mean that day, not today, I'm recording this the day after, but it just felt so right that day. Like I don't know, I just the week before was just a horrible week for deadlifts, and like I said, this is like when I first competed, so I always feel like, I think that was the exact, that wasn't the exact platform I was looking at for deadlifts, but the squat behind me that you see was. So, I just always have that, like, I'm always going to have that little nostalgia in that gym. I'm not a member of it. I just had a free day pass. It's usually a free week pass, because of COVID, it's just a day. And honestly, this was a 370 for 3 sets of 5. I've started my confidence went down with deadlifts, but like after today, after that day, it felt way better being beltless. And it's just the grip was the only factor. You can see my thumb, like on every single set, you can see my thumb just pretty much, like, you can't tell, but the bar is literally in the tips of my fingers on my left hand, which sucks, because that literally has never happened to me on deadlifts ever. And that's like what a Texas deadlift bar is for, like really sharp knurling, and it's just meant for that. And that one is like, they need to replace that bar. That's all there is to it. So there should be 8 weeks left until my competition, and I've been thinking, like, looking at this footage, I've been thinking what I want to open with, first, second, third attempts for all squat, bench, and deadlift. And honestly, the only one that really worries me the most is probably, of course, bench, but the most is deadlift. Like, I've been talking about how it's just been, I don't know, I just suffered during quarantine, and I actually deadlifted, which sucks. I actually want to do 501, and I feel like that's like a minimum that I really want, but 45 would be the safest, because I feel like I really could get 45 without a problem. But I really want a total 1200. So my squat, I'm not like trying to go crazy with squat. My squat is my best left, so my last time, my third attempt was 369. So I'm possibly wanting that to go from 420 to 440. That will be my savior for the 1200 total, and a 265 bench and 501 deadlift, something like that. So it was 220, yeah, so 220 for 4 sets of 3. And this is the exact bench that I competed with. Like, literally, it's not the exact bench, actually. It's almost the exact bench, but it's the exact bar for sure. Exact bar, Texas Power Bar, not deadlift bar. Texas Power Bar, and it's like very old one, like super old school one. Like, man, that thing is old. It's slippery. The knurling sucks. Like, you can see the ends. It has like rubber on the sides. Like, it's so weird. That's how you know it's old. And it looks like a rat bit it off. And like, I see why I did. Like, I think that's why 248 felt so heavy on my third attempt. Not saying that I could have done that easier, but it could have felt easier if I had a Ohio Power Bar or good Texas Power Bar, because USPA likes to use Texas Power Bars. And I just feel like if I had a better bar, like that bar, I used it just for like the little, like, oh my god, it's the same bar, and it's the little nostalgia. But man, that bar really sucks. Like, they just need to upgrade the equipment. It's a good gym. They have a bodybuilding section. They have a bunch of powerlifting stuff. They have a bunch of band. All these things, nothing wrong with it. They even have cardio and boxing stuff. But that's just, a little upgrade. Like, that's the bodybuilding section you can see behind me. And that Honestly, gyms that don't have that, like very few gyms have that. Like that's what Dorian Yates lived by. Old school bodybuilders did that for lats. That was like a lat developer. You really feel it stretching your lats so much. I mainly feel the stretch more than anything. On the way up is actually the hard part, not the way down. But yeah, so I was talking about my totals back to that. Like I feel like I'm really like a hard attempt, but I feel like I can get it. I don't think it's too far to my reach. Would be a 440 squat. Maybe 450. I say 440 for sure. 450 would be probably crazy slow rep. Maybe even get 2 red lights, so it's not possible, or 1 red light. But I want to look at that. And 276 would be like the highest on bench. Deadlift, the highest would be like 511. But I really want to do 501. That would get me to 1200 total. That's all for the video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned and like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content.